Good morning, world.
Good morning, Michigan. A very pleasant Tuesday to you. Michael Patrick Shields heard all across the state of Michigan, and glad to have you with us this morning. We are live in our American Metal Roof studio in the Gillespie Group Stadium District building in the shadow of the Capitol. We'll talk politics, we'll talk sports, we'll talk lifestyle, and we'll talk about your money, the things that are important to you here in the state of Michigan. And the anchorman, Gary Austin, is with us right now. Good morning.
Yep, here we are on Tuesday.
29,000 people without power after storms. That's in certain parts of Michigan.
Yep.
And we're going to talk later, too. Dick Morris apparently canceled the speech he was going to give in Michigan at the Lincoln Day dinner in Livonia because the governor's office put the heat on him put the heat on the dinner not to have Dick Morris as the speaker. Wonder why.
Yeah.
Be curious to know about that.
He's sort of a one-time liberal sort of turned conservative, right?
Yeah, he is now a conservative political commentator, but he came out of the Clinton administration.
Yeah,
didn't
he did, yeah.
So we'll see what that was all about.
I'd be curious to see. I just wonder if maybe some of the things that the administration here, the governor's office, maybe they caught wind of something that he was going to talk about, and they said, nope, don't want you to. I'm just, speculating. Who knows? It's got to be something. But
we're going to talk with the Wayne County executive, Robert Ficano, in the next day or so. He's upset about the movie business and the way the governor has shut the stage door, if you will, by reducing the tax credit for the film business. Yeah. Ready for this? Since they've put a cap of $25 million on the film tax credits, here are the productions that have left. The Avengers and the Batman sequel quickly went to other states. That's that. Those are two very high-profile projects, needless to say. Well, so there you have it. We used to have rebates of 42% of the film's TV production expenses. So we had Scream 4 and Red Dawn and lots of other famous films. They shot Up in the Air, too, with George Clooney. Well, anyway, that's not happening anymore. They're already streaming for the exits.
Well, these other states are offering better deals. And we knew when the governor took office, he said he was going to make some changes to this. Now, it's not to say that these outfits are getting nothing by way of
but they're more selective with who they approve, and there's only so much they can get. So they don't want to deal with the red tape, so off they go.
Well, the whole thing is capped now, and other states are just offering better deals. But I guess the governor's office is saying, how much is too much? And, his big deal about all of this, I don't think it's so much even the business itself with movies. He has a problem with the selective nature by targeting this particular industry and saying, okay, you guys get this sweet deal, and everybody else doesn't get as good a deal. I think the governor's trying to work something out that's more equitable for all kinds of business that would like to take root in Michigan.
Gas prices are down 23 cents in the last week. That's
happy days are here again.
And we're heading toward the holiday, so I wonder if they'll shoot up for Memorial Day or stay down where they are.
Don't even suggest that.
The people who stole the golf carts from Pinecroft Golf Club, I wonder if they're electric carts or gas carts. But anyway, 6 carts were stolen from the golf club. About $30,000 worth of golf carts, loaded into a trailer and scrammed from Benzie County.
Now, what do you do with those things?
I don't know. Take them to another golf course or a neighborhood. I don't know. You probably sell them. I don't know what you do. Isn't that weird?
Is there a market for that sort of thing? Do they go to chop shops? I doubt it.
I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, the president was in Ireland yesterday. You know that, right?
Yep.
So he got a very warm welcome. Here's what it sounded like.
Yeah, that's a warm, loud welcome.
First leg of a 6-day 4-nation trip to Europe. Thousands of people, as you heard there, cheering in Dublin like a rock star had arrived. And he visited his Irish, supposedly where his great-great-great-grandfather was, Moneygall, his maternal ancestors, and obviously on his mother's side. He visited a pub. He had a drink with the patrons. And in Dublin, he made a little speech, and he cited the strong traditional ties between the U.S. and Ireland.
That we are bound by history and friendship and shared values. And that's why I've come here as an American president to reaffirm those bonds of affection.
There you have it.
We will. In London next, right?
Yeah.
And then
in fact, he had to go to London early. He was supposed to overnight in Ireland, but I guess that volcano is acting up again. And so there was a threat of an ash cloud, so he had to leave and get over to London, which is exactly what he did. In fact, he while he's there, He's going to have meetings with Queen Elizabeth, in fact, and find out why he wasn't invited to the royal wedding. I think that'll be the first thing they ask. And then he'll be with the PM, the Prime Minister, David Cameron, and then he goes over to France.
Yes. Did you see where the first Fiat dealership is now open in Michigan?
How about that?
Yeah.
It's in
Fiat
the
of
Detroit
Lakeside.
area, isn't it?
Yeah, in Macomb Township. I'm getting back into the American marketplace after being gone. Did you know Fiat has been gone for almost 30 years now?
Is that right? Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
see Fiat dealerships.
Yeah, we will now.
Now
and
that
if everything
Chrysler,
goes well, with that whole arrangement with Chrysler, this is what. But Chrysler is going to pay off the loans. All that money Chrysler borrowed to stay afloat from both our government and the Canadian government in Ottawa. It's all going to be paid back today. Big ceremony, big shebang to make a big deal out of that.
How
As well
about it?
Chrysler should. How about that? You bet.
Just like in the days of Lee Iacocca.
Yeah. Right.
On the downside, the most dangerous cities in the country,
Yeah.
according
saw
to the FBI,
Yeah.
Flint and Detroit.
Yeah, it's done on a per capita basis. And even though Detroit's murders were down last year, dropped by about 50 or thereabouts, still ranked pretty high. Per capita, though, Flint is way up there, too. So
47% increase in murders this year in Flint.
Oddly, Sterling Heights, not far off.
Really?
Out of all the cities, and this is, again, per capita by size, they kind of rank it that way, one of the safest cities.
Sterling Heights is safe.
Sterling Heights is safe.
Have you ever been there?
Yes.
It's boring.
Why do you say that?
It's a boring place. No wonder it's safe.
Well, there's
Nobody
so much
doing
to-
nothing there.
Well, there's so much to do around. Oh, you're saying because they're just not.
Just a bedroom community.
It is.
Nothing
It-
going on.
it's a good Sterling Heights. It is really the quintessential residential
Yeah.
neighborhood. It really is. That's true.
Very boring.
Good point.
Engineering is one of the top undergraduate majors when it comes to the highest median salary.
Engineering.
Yeah.
That would be like, I would think, computer work, right? It's
The
sort of engineering.
choice of a major
yeah.
could mean the difference between earnings of $120,000 if you're a petroleum engineer, and let's say you wanted to be a psychologist, $29,000.
I said there's a link between engineering and computer work. I think there's
Is
a link
there?
between computer work and everything.
Looks
Obviously.
that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do anything. You can't buy a soda pop in the store without it going in the computer.
Would you pay $500,000 for something signed by a very famous person?
$500,000?
Yeah.
Not unless I was there for the signing, and not unless was Aaron Burnett.
Well, you wouldn't be there. You wouldn't have been there for this one. Jane Austen, a manuscript,
Oh, no.
expected to fetch $500,000. There's a big auction. Sotheby's Auction House is going to put this on the auction block in July. The 68 handwritten and heavily edited pages belong to an unfinished novel titled The Watsons. Be curious to read that. I assume someday it'll be on the internet. Copies.
We'll continue with Arnold Schwarzenegger's divorce. Could he be coughing up $200 million? We'll find out as soon as we get back. And the best school in Michigan will be revealed. Stay tuned.